K7's taking on a bit of a different format today.
So yeah, this is Anne-Marie, who's a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, and on this morning, they were talking about an art installation by a man called Mark Jenkins. It's called Project 84, and he has installed 84 male statues on top of the This Morning studio and the ITV headquarters, all stood on the edge of the top of the building to represent the 84 males in the UK that commit suicide every week. But if I had to stop you in the street and ask you the question, what is the biggest killer of males under the age of 45 in the UK? The answer is suicide. It is themselves. That is the answer to that question. And the views on this channel, according to the YouTube analytics, 75% of the 2,500 views this channel has had since it started are male. 75% of the people that are engaging with this content are male. Personal messages that I've received, 54% of those messages, which are private messages and can only be seen by me, have come from males. Comments on the shares that I've put on my Facebook, which are obviously public and can be seen by anybody, only 25% were left by males. One step further than that, which is the shares, we are then down to 6% of the shares are from males. So from having quite a large majority that are engaging with the content, to then a small majority that are actually engaging with me directly about it, to then a fairly large minority that are commenting on it, and then a massive minority that are comfortable to share it and engage with it in a public way, you can start to see why 3 out of 4 suicides are male. Clearly, we've got a world of people that are engaged that are not talking about it and cannot talk about it, and that is a cultural problem. It probably takes me between 2 and 4 hours every day to get this video done, and everyone I see says, are you really going to do 100 days? I mean, yes, I am. I'm getting messages from people opening up about their experiences of depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts, and they would never have said that to me a week ago. Okay, right? I think there is the assumption that men should be strong and should be brave, and that's what a man is. And like I've said before, when you are going through these emotional states, you do feel like it's a sign of weakness. Now, bearing in mind the only responses I've had are, you're so strong to do this, to talk about it, to fight it, that clearly is what people see as the strong option. You do have concerns about, well, if I tell people how is my life going to change, what's going to happen, that's what this blog is about, to show you my process of trying to work through that and hopefully then see the positives, so that if you do need to try and work through it, you've got something to look at. Of course, only be vocal about this stuff if you are comfortable to do it. You don't want to push yourself, or you do want to push yourself out of a comfort zone, but not in a way that's going to be unsafe and dangerous. And I don't know what I'm trying to say, because you do need to break comfort zone.
I've got a question for you, which is, given that you chose to do this, and that you had the same sorts of worries and concerns that maybe others watching this might have had, which is, oh my God, what will people think? In all honesty, how have you found the reaction of the people?
When you first hear something like that, your brain jumps to, oh, I need to take care of this person, and you become that character.
Yeah.
And then once you've then been exposed to the normality of it, people then kind of revert back to what they were, and it's back to the same old relationship, but with just a better understanding and ultimately closer relationships, because people feel like I'm honest and open with them, and it's allowed me to be much more myself than I was before that, because I was constantly trying to fight off that demon, which wasn't really allowing me to express who I was and how I feel about things.
And I'm so glad, therefore, you've chosen to do this, because I think our relationship has changed even in the last week. Yeah, for me personally, I feel like the barriers are now down. Yeah, so we should all be open with each other, and that way we can all move forward together, and it's just a more enjoyable life experience.
So I think, and it's that level of openness that gave everybody enough insight into what I was going through, that actually allowed me to live with it better than I was doing. Because, as I say, when people knew, I kind of played that character because that's what I thought I should play. And when people didn't know, I was playing a totally different character that still wasn't me. And so there was never this time when I could actually just exist and live in the moment.
How completely exhausting must that be? Yeah, you know, it's, which of course unfortunately is then a spiral. That's before we even start on anything else. If today's a good day, fab, and we all can kind of like have a little bit of celebration that it is, but recognise tomorrow or an hour later may not be so good. But when we understand that now, and you can sort of support accordingly, and support doesn't mean, oh, you're right, or, you know, doesn't have to be that at all. And I think I can understand more and respect better, you know, when I understand more.
So a big thank you to...
No thanks needed.
Thank you to Anne-Marie, who's contributed a lot to today's video. The fact that males need to understand that this problem is not going to go away without us being open about it, and we aren't going to condemn ourselves just to an infinite timeline of this problem of 84 males every week, and that number is only going to climb if we don't talk about this. So please, today more than any, share and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.